I'm Ginny with Ginny Panur, and today we have Curt Bear. I am so excited to have him because I ended up going to one of his LoCo Think Tank meetings, and I just was absolutely blown away, and I can't wait for him to share. So Curt, first of all, how did you get into this?
Well, that's interesting. I built it for me, actually. I was a banker that was seeking to start a restaurant, and I had seen a lot of people with these kind of peer advisory groups and things, but it was all too expensive for me. And I was in Rotary Club, and I knew that kind of impulse to serve, and so I kind of matched the two things together that I knew about, which was this high paid membership thing along with the impulse to serve. And we created our LoCo Think Tank, first LoCo Think Tank chapter, almost 8 years ago now. It was a side business for over 4 years while I did the food business and other things. But the model was started then. And then the next winter, after the mobile food business was hibernating, I started another chapter and then another chapter. And it just kind of slowly built to something that could actually, employ me. I like to say when we launch a chapter, it's like a 7-way arranged marriage. You have to find all of these members kind of at the same time that are ready to go, and everybody's got to bring their own special sauce to the mix. Everybody has to give and receive to really find value in these membership groups. That's the hardest part of my job, is when we launch new chapters. It's comparably easy to add new members to existing chapters. The notion is, I guess, the base that we would work from is that most all of us are smart at a few things and less smart at many other things. If we're good at half the things that are required of a business owner, that's probably we're better than most. But if we get people that are good at different things, then we can, through processing challenges together, come to better outcomes. And so it's my job. I say I'm the mixologist when we're building these chapters. And so I'll be intentional to find people that are really good at marketing, or maybe they even have a marketing business, or people that are great at finances and they do people's budgets and taxes with them, or they're great at culture building within their manufacturing business or their service business, and that's what they really bring. And so through combining these different kinds of thinkers, everybody gets to rub off on each other, and hopefully it's kind of a positive peer pressure environment where that thinking better about things creates stronger businesses and more growth and higher paid employees and all those good things.
I'd love for you to share with our audience how you go about doing it. Say, we're at the meeting, and how does it go?
We have a 4-step process we call the LoCollaborative process. And step 1 is really to put a question on the table. So different than a board meeting, where a board meeting might go through all these different segments of the business. Here, we really get down to one specific question. And so we give it some background. We say, set the stage. And so we set the stage and ultimately ask a question. Stage 2, after that question is on the table, then it's really time for the fellow members to only ask clarifying questions before they're allowed to make any suggestions. And so after these questions came out from these members and I answered them, and that's your job as the presenter, isn't to make excuses or to, get defensive with your fellow members, but just own what you've done, what your real desires are, et cetera. Then the 3rd step, after the enough time has passed, enough good questions are out, is suggested solutions. And we've got a professional facilitator in each chapter, and that facilitator, to backtrack just a bit, that facilitator moves them through the process, keeps the agendas, and they have been there, done that. Their business journey is one that represents a success to the members of the chapter. That doesn't mean they have all the answers, but they've been there, done that, so they know how to ask good questions as well. And so once the facilitator receives all of these suggested solutions, we typically put them on the whiteboard. Sometimes other people can see you more clearly than you can see yourself.
That's so true. It really is.
Think Tank really combines the things that I care about the most. It's ideas, it's community, it's connection, and really it's such a lonely place oftentimes to be a business owner when you're the decider. Mm-hmm. And we I like to say we're 2 parts board meeting, 1 part support group. And because we are business focused, but it's a community of peers that are going through similar challenges. They've had people quit on them with no notice, and no call, no shows. They've, struggled to turn a new enterprise profitable as they expanded their business. And so they know each other's challenges, but yet they can be objective. Then our step 4 to finish out the process, once all those suggestions are on the table, then we go back to the presenter and say, okay, Curt, which 1 or 2 or 3 suggestions that you heard are you really going to focus on, and not come back to the next meeting next month and say I didn't make progress? It's actually about those incremental steps and employing the decisions that you make. Sometimes you can just sit on a decision or a challenging circumstance as a business owner for weeks and even months without making that decision go forward. So that's our LoCo process. That's a big part of each chapter meeting. And then the rest of it is different kind of tools, workshops, accountability. We bring in outside speakers that have a particular topical expertise, do some educational things in that way. And really just, a continuous improvement process, basically, for being a small business owner and seeing your business more clearly than you otherwise might, and getting ideas that others are using successfully, having a place to put those into practice and learn about them.
That's great. So if someone were to reach out to you, what are some of the things, who wanted to be in LoCo Think Tank, what are some of the things that you would discuss with them to decide which group to put them in?
Well, or even whether to put them in a group at all. I'm pretty selective with those that I invite to consider membership. I really want to, we've got a checklist of items, but part of it is there's somebody I would like to have in my backyard, or spend an extended coffee with on a regular basis. There are people you want to be around. That doesn't mean they're not quirky and that they're not all different, but so we segment them so that they're with their peers facing similar kinds of challenges.
You're saying there are 4 levels that you take into consideration as to which level you would put someone into.
That's right, for now. And soon we'll have a 5th. So it's builders, thinkers, next level in terms of size, getting larger. And then our current catalyst group is the key employees of our thinkers, our smaller companies.
Okay.
And soon we'll have a catalyst chapter for the next level members, just different kinds of organizations. And so the key employees of our larger members will populate that new group.
Now, you said that it's 4 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
And do they meet once a month or weekly? How does that work?
Yeah, once a month is our normal rotation, typically the same cadence. And then most of the chapters get together between times as well. And it's either on a one-on-one basis, or a lot of them have chosen to go to kind of a cohorts model where 2 or 3 or 4 of the members will meet with the facilitator and just check in on a few things from the meeting, maybe have a quick topical discussion that doesn't have time between, for the chapters, uncover challenges that they should process at upcoming meetings and that kind of thing. So we try not to go like a full 30 days. And even for those groups that don't meet one-on-one, a lot of times the members will set an intention to meet with a fellow member each month as well, just to keep that level of connection up.
I'm sure that's really helpful. Does that help with accountability?
I think people in every phase need accountability. It kind of depends on the person. When we founded, we founded, and then about 2 years later, we looked back and said, did a mission and vision and values and things. And we said perspective, accountability, and encouragement was kind of the 3 pillars that we rely on, and people come for different reasons.
Do people ever say, I need help with my calendar?
Oh, yeah. No, we compare technology tools a lot. Some of our speakers might come in and be, help overcome task overwhelm, and here's some tips or whatever. But yeah, it's definitely those that are doing it well are encouraged to share with those that maybe haven't uncovered that tool yet, for example.
Yeah. That sounds really, valuable. I've never heard of something like this. I think you're onto something really special. If someone is interested in just checking you out the way I did, how do they go about doing that?
Well, start with our website. And so it's just locothinktank.com. If you go to the About Us page, you can actually book a meeting with me right there on that page, or there's several places where you can say, hey, I'm interested, let's connect. You can email me directly if you'd like after you've checked out the website. It's just Curt, C-U-R-T, at locothinktank.com.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share for the audience that we haven't covered that might be really helpful to them?
One thing is just an encouragement. If you're not ready for a think tank, or we don't have think tanks where you are right now as a business owner, you can use that LoCo process that I just unfolded, that 4-step process. Get a group of 3 or 4 or more together, and that's an effective way not just to process your business challenges, but anything going on in your world almost. So that's the free gift for listening. Thank you. And in regards to, what the value proposition here is, I think probably so it's $300 a month for our middle-sized businesses, which is
thank you for saying. Yes, I'm sure.
Great, we're 200, 300, 1,000 for the big guys, and 250 for the key employees. And so it's an investment. It's an investment of time and money. But if you can grow 1% faster, each year because of the decisions you make in LoCo Think Tank, or you can, see a way to trim 10% of your operating expenditures without sacrificing quality. Boom, you've paid for your whole year and then some. So it's not about instant gratification. It's more about small changes over time that lead to, instead of being on the lower tier of performers for your industry, maybe you've got a great market share, maybe you've got better margins than you otherwise would. And really, a lot of times it's about focus. Where am I focusing? We tend to get scattered and sprayed around as small business owners.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah.
There's progress everywhere.
So much on your plate.
Right. So if you can focus on the most important things on a consistent basis, even if it's just here and there, a few hours a week kind of thing, you will see dividends. And that's, I guess, where I would probably leave it is, if you trust the process, you invest in it, you invest in others, everybody's going to grow.
That's great. Terrific information, Curt. Thank you so much. And people can get a hold of you. Do you want to offer your phone number, or is it best that they go to your website?
Yeah, you can call me on the phone. It's 970. Oh gosh, hold on. I've got an office number that rings through to my mobile. I don't like to give my mobile out directly. 970-698-6977. It will ring through to my mobile, but you can call there. Really, a lot of people.
One more time, if you would, please, because
sure,
I was talking.
No worries. It's 970-698-6977. I should also mention probably that we've got a podcast. If you're not a business owner or not eligible to join a think tank chapter now, or we're not where you are, check out the LoCo Experience podcast.
Okay.
And that's
is that on your website as well?
Yep. You'll find that on the Get Connected page, or really on your Apple Podcast, Spotify. You can find it anywhere. And it's primarily long form, up to 2-hour conversations between myself and really interesting business leaders. And a lot of times it's through story. And so that's what the LoCo Experience podcast is all about.
Oh, I love it, Curt. Thank you so much. And I hope that people will comment below. If they have any questions, reach out to Curt. We'll have the information for you. It's all about who do you know. So thank you so much, Curt, for coming on and sharing so much valuable information.
Well, I'm so glad to know you, Ginny, and I'm appreciative of the opportunity to be on the Ginnypreneur show. And I just look so much forward to the next time that we can spend time together.
That sounds great. I'll see you again soon. Thank you, Curt.
Very good.
Bye.
Bye-bye.